So, yes. We jump forward a couple of years. Now, these are going in chronological order.
Yes. So the next one is the Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness in 92.
Yeah, we know the story of Freddie Mercury, and it's a tragic one after about 1989.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury was the legendary voice of God.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Or had the voice of a god, I should say.
Right.
I think I've said this before. They asked why Brian May didn't sing many Queen songs because he has the voice of an angel. Mm-hmm. I mean, Freddie had the voice of a god. So,
right.
You know.
So, but Freddie died actually in 91 of complications with AIDS. Less than 24 hours after announcing publicly that he had had the illness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the next year at the 92 Brit Awards, Queen announced this show, this benefit tribute concert, and that it would take place at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, I think when it comes to certain bands have a certain, there's always one location that you associate with the band. Like Beatles is Abbey Road, So with Queen, it was Wembley Stadium.
Right.
Because they had like 3 nights there in 87. And they did the Live Aid from there where they completely and utterly stole the show. So Wembley would have been the best place. The only other place that they could have done it really would have been either Twickenham Stadium or Knebworth Park.
Yeah.
To get that many people involved.
Yeah. So, but apparently tickets sold out in 3 hours.
Now this is 92. There was no Ticketmaster. You had to actually call a number and give them a credit card.
Yeah, I tried to explain to the kids that the other day how like tickets for Swift would have worked back in the day. Like people would have had to have gone to the venue and camped for weeks at a time. Well, no, you'd have some that would get there like 2 weeks ahead of time. I mean, especially for something that big.
Especially Swift, yeah.
Yeah, or something for this big too. So yeah, and it's like trying to call up, which we'll talk about that later if you put that in there. Yeah. Okay. So anyway.
So the show was like a tribute to the life of Freddie, as well as, tipped segments for bringing awareness to AIDS. Because even this early on, people believed you could catch AIDS by handshakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Which
is stupid. Mm-hmm. Now we know better.
Right.
And I'm not saying that they were right, but I mean, even then, you knew you couldn't catch the disease by handshake. It was just an excuse for, for hate. But the gig set up like a festival. There were kind of 2 parts to it. Mm-hmm. Okay, there were 8 acts who showed up who played nothing but their own music.
Right.
So you had Metallica, Extreme, Def Leppard, Bob Geldof, Spinal Tap, and Guns N' Roses. They played their show at Wembley. Jesus. There was an Extreme, the band. They actually did a cover. They did basically a whole medley of Queen songs. So think Weird Al Yankovic's Polka, but nothing but Queen songs.
Right.
So it was really, really good. Mango Groove and U2 didn't play at Wembley. They played via satellite.
Right.
And Bono, being Bono, didn't have time to show up on the day, so they recorded.
Of course he did.
That set, pre-recorded, and then beamed it in via satellite.
Right.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Mm-hmm. The rest of the show was Queen with a guest singer for a track or 2. So, like, they'd have someone come out, sing a song.
Yeah. This is... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this is the one where we got the first rendition of George Michael's version of Somebody to Love, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That stole the show.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, it was the absolute highlight because a lot of people tried to live up to Freddie and tried to sing it, the way he would, whereas George Michael went out there and sung it as George Michael.
Which is how you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
Because you can't be Freddie.
No, you can't be Freddie.
I mean, Adam, what's-his-face is close.
Adam Lambert, yeah.
He's not Freddie at all.
No.
He'll not be Freddie. But if there was ever someone who was pitch-wise similar...
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing too, right? Some of the guest singers included David Bowie, Elton John, Robert Plant, Roger Daltrey, James Hetfield, Paul Young, Seal, and Lisa Stansfield.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was a heck of a show. Sold out, Wembley Stadium, 90,000 people in that pit of a stadium. I went to that stadium the first time in 94, and it was a dump then. So I can imagine how much of a dump it was in 87, in 92, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, Metallica and Def Leppard's performance would mix and releases B-sides and special mini EPs for their bands to show their work. And Bowie did the same thing with their version of All the Young Dudes. Because they weren't just singing Queen songs.
Yeah.
They were singing, Queen was like the house band for the day.
Right.
For lack of a better term.
Well, it's like the Taylor Hawkins tribute.
Yeah.
Where the Fighters of Foo were the background for the different folks.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah. I don't know why. I guess that's why that's in my head. It's because you have been walking around.
It's because I've been doing the research.
The last 3 days, people. I have been walking around. Do you know how disconcerting it is when you round the corner and your husband is just sitting at his desk working, not doing, and not talking to anybody. He's not listening to anything.
No, I am listening to stuff. That's where it comes most out.
But all of a sudden, like, you're walking by and you hear Foo Fighters. Like he's freaking Christopher Walken.
Well, that's the joke.
I know. Or like you walk in and he's cooking and like flipping chicken in the pan. Foo Fighters. I'm like, what the hell?
That's the ADHD though. It makes me
hyperfixation.
Yes.
I know.
There was a TikTok that I hyperfixated on for 4 days, and it stuck in my head for 4 days. And I'm not going to repeat it because it's going to get back in my head again. But it just the whole time I'm just humming this little ditty.
I've been doing that too with the
right. So back to Queen.
Yes.
I mean, this is considered probably the best tribute concert in the history of music. Now, I wrote the research to this one before the Taylor Hawkins show, and that was considered one of the best tributes too. Also at Wembley Stadium. A lot of parallels.
I'm telling you, the British music scene is incestuous.
Probably.
No, and I don't mean that, but I mean is everybody knows everybody. Yeah. Everybody's dated each other, or the people have run around in the same circles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. But then again, when you have to realize, and it's weird as an American, but like the whole place could fit in Texas.
Oh, the whole place, England could fit in Louisiana.
Right. But you know what I'm saying. So it's hard for me to wrap my brain around, but it's like, there's only so much land. Where are they spreading out to?
Right.
I mean,
they all worked with each other, against each other, or, they worked with somebody who eventually hooked up together.
Right.
That's how it was. I mean, okay, the Queen's 50th Jubilee concert, like they had Phil Collins and Roger Taylor on drums.
Yeah.
And then they had Paul McCartney come in, and then they had, just...
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they played together. They didn't have to rehearse as much.
No, because everybody knew everybody.
Yeah. So Queen would continue to make sporadic appearances as a 3-piece over the next couple of years, and then as a 2-piece with arrangements with Adam Lambert, as we mentioned, and Paul Rodgers. And they'd go by the name... They wouldn't call it Queen. They'd call it Queen plus
whoever
Adam Lambert, Paul Rodgers, whoever. Because bassist John Deacon basically said that after Freddie died, he was retired.
Right.
I mean, there was nothing more he could do about it. And I guess he fell into the same trap as R.E.M. drummer Bill Berry, who thought that, well, if I've retired, the rest of the band retired. No, not so much. They carried on.
No.
So, yeah.
I mean, Brian May is still going around making music, discovering planets, as one does. Yeah. I think the whole world went, oh?
When they found out he was an astrophysicist.
Right. It's like, with that hair?
We should address him by his official title, Dr. May.
Is it Sir Dr. May?
No, not...
No, is he a sir?
I don't know. I don't have my phone on me to check. And I'm monitoring the recording on the computer, so I can't.
Okay.
We'll find that out at a later date.
Yes.
Anyway, so